So, if you know anything about dismissive avoidant attachment styles, you know that it is very common for them to have somebody who's like the one that got away. And what I actually mean by this is that it's very common for dismissive avoidants to have somebody that they think of as this ex that they put on a pedestal, that they often compare their current partners to, that they wonder about like, where's this person doing? What are they up to? What would life look like? Would it be different if we were still together? And this happens with the vast majority of dismissive avoidance. So in today's video, we're going to unpack 4 major signs that you might actually be the dismissive avoidance one that got away, and how to really know not just what's going on here, but why this actually takes place for them to begin with. Okay, so first things first. One of the most obvious things, and this is really obvious to me because I spent a lot of time working with dismissive avoidance in actual private practice, talking to them one-to-one, having deep conversations with them. And I didn't work exclusively with dismissive avoidance when I ran my private practice, but a good 20% or so of my clients I would say were dismissive avoidant. And the first thing that I would see firsthand is that they reminisce. They would talk. I had a dismissive avoidant client, just to give you one actual example, who literally would talk about an ex and just compare everybody to her. He would be like, yep, well, compared to her name was Katrina. Compared to Katrina 6 years ago, Katrina would always do this. And the person I'm dating now does this. And I remember having a conversation being like, okay, we have to actually work on the fact that you compare everybody to Katrina. Like, what did Katrina represent to you? And what needs were those? And how can you get those needs met now by communicating them? And eventually he actually got over his ex through doing some work on it. But truly, that is a very common theme for them where they will just stay very, very stuck on an ex in terms of comparison. Okay. So they'll reminisce. And you're probably like, well, how would I know that? How would I know if they're reminiscing? Well, you would know because if you have mutual friends, if you have anybody in your life where you actually, share contact with them, they will talk about you to those people, or they will even ask about you. And this really brings me to point number 2. They'll ask about you indirectly. And that is something dismissive avoidants don't do. Okay. They're not ones to be like, oh, yeah, how's Susie from high school? Like they don't think about things like that. So if they are asking about you after a good bit of time, okay, like months have passed and you're no longer together and you catch wind that they're still talking about you, asking about you, things like that, that's a pretty good sign pointing in the direction that you might be the one that got away because they still are actually thinking about the past and wondering what's going on. I'm going to get into some more obvious signs, but we're also going to talk about what to do. Okay. Sign number 3 that you might be the one that got away is if they are still, and this is like a dead giveaway sign, if they are still very active with you on social media. So if this is your ex, especially if you're in like a new relationship or you've moved on, and this person, they are constantly liking your social media posts or watching your stories or things like that, and you can see it. That's not very typical of dismissive avoidance. They're pretty like one and done when they're done with something. They cut contact, they don't hang around, they don't linger, they don't come back to the past. Like it's not too much like them. And so if you're seeing that they're really upkeeping with what you're doing, another really, really meaningful sign that you might be the one that got away. Okay. And I'm going to tell you one other really important sign, probably the most important one, but I do want to let you know really briefly too, if you want to do a deeper dive into learning to connect with somebody with a different attachment style, understanding like what's healthy for you in a relationship so that you're not just like connecting with somebody and trying to make it work if you're not getting your needs met as well. You should check out. This is something I'm just doing for a limited time. I'm actually so excited to share this with you too. This is what I think is one of the most helpful courses we have at PDS. And it's a course for free, but it's actually not just for free for the trial period. You get to keep it for life. So it's like $250 value. You literally get to keep it for life. And it is access to our relationship needs course. It helps you find out your relationship needs. It helps you learn the relationship needs of your partner, anybody you're dating, even friends, family members, with a series of little questionnaires, assessments. And it really talks about how needs impact a relationship because they're more impactful by far and away than love languages. They really, because they're more specific, they land differently with people. They just go a lot more deep with people. And I'll give you a quick example. Like for me, I have a love language around quality time, my biggest love language, but I have a need for emotional connection. And I'd rather have 1 hour emotionally connecting to somebody and having a meaningful conversation than 10 hours spending quality time with somebody watching a Netflix show, right? It's like your quality time But what do you wanna do in your quality time? Well, emotionally connect, have a meaningful conversation, get to know somebody, like, that's so needs just land different, okay? And so when I'm trying to really connect and build relationships with people, knowing each other's needs is, like, the most important thing when it comes to really building that connection. So again, more than a $250 value for the course, you get to literally keep it for life, and it also gives you 7-day access to all of our other courses if you wanna check those out too. Come into webinars, join me live during the week, and ask questions in there, all that good stuff. I'll put the link down below. Okay. The last really important thing, well, really two things. I'm kind of adding a bonus one in here, but the last couple things are if you have an ex, whoever sends you old memories, okay? If they send you like an old picture of something, a place you traveled to together, a date you went on, old memories, if that is like a while after your breakup and they're doing that, if it's really any time after your breakup and they're doing that, huge sign that you might be the one that got away. And if they reach out to you way after the breakup has happened. So if you've been, not really talking, you're not in this like kind of make or break period where you're figuring things out or you're on and off, but like you're literally not talking and it's been 3, 4 months and they start sending you things, memes, funny videos, things like that, pretty good sign that you're the one that got away. You might see that from other attachment styles a little more frequently, fearful avoidance, anxious attachment styles, and it may not have as much weight. But when you see these things from a dismissive avoidance specifically, that's usually what's going on. Now, I just want to leave you with one last really important thought. This doesn't mean the person's ready to get back together with you. It doesn't mean that they're ready to get back in a relationship. They're probably going to fantasize you about you in their mind, but they might, as things get real, or if you reconnect with them, be like, oh, wait, I don't know. So just don't take this video and be like, oh, now I'm going to try to get back together with this person. If this person's reaching out to you or they're doing all of these things that we talked about, and you do start reconnecting with them, just please make sure you're vetting by their actions, not their words. They actually have to be able to take action to like have the hard conversations in a relationship. Talk about what didn't work well the first time. Be clear and specific that they're, ready to invest in a relationship, that they miss you. Show up and follow through that way with their behaviors, right? Like initiating dates, initiating plans. It has to be so much more than just these signs that they fantasize about you, because you could like somebody so much, you could love them, you could fantasize about them. It doesn't mean you're ready for a relationship. So just make sure you know those two things and how to make those distinctions so that you know what your next step should be. Okay, let me know future comments you have or questions you have down in the comments below, and I will make content about it accordingly. Thank you for watching and for stopping by. Thank you for, being a part of this channel. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you don't want to miss any of our cool giveaways that we do or content that we share. I'm in here on a daily basis trying to create videos that whatever I can think of that could support you in your journey or questions that you have. And that's it for today. And I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's video too.